Hello, lovelies. Welcome to another beautiful art class with Miss Blessing. Today, we're going to be looking at artists in history. But before we start looking at these artists in history, we're going to look at the definition of art history. Art history is the study of development and stylistic changes of art over the course of time. Okay, we say that art history is the study of development and stylistic changes of art over the course of time. So we are going to be studying three artists who did tremendous work during their time. And our number one today is Jackson Pollock. Jackson Pollock is a painter who became well known for dripping, pouring, and splashing paint into large canvases. He was an American artist born into a poor farming family in the western USA. When he was 16, he studied art at Manor Arts High School in Los Angeles. Then, in 1930, at age 18, moved to New York City. There he enrolled at the Art Student League, where he began the processes of understanding and learning drawing and painting. It was an experimental workshop in New York where Pollock tried using paint differently for the first time, dripping, pouring, and flinging paint. This experimentation led to his later works. However, Pollock battled depression, which led him to dark times. Pollock was a dominant figure in the art scene for his first solo in 1942 until his death in 1956. And another one we're going to be seeing today is Pablo Picasso. Yes, Pablo Picasso is another great artist. Pablo Picasso is probably the most famous artist of modern times. As an artist, Picasso was versatile and worked with a large range of styles and used many materials and mediums. He created delicate portraits to geometric painting, collage, and even dabbled in ceramics. Picasso grew up in Spain and won a place at an art school at age 13. However, he dropped out after finding the lesson disappointing. After school, he moved to Paris and began to paint moody, blue-toned scene of beggars and outcasts. He had no money and had to share a small apartment, taking it in turn to sleep in the only bed. Now, Picasso's art career was a success, but he became stuck in Paris when the Second World War broke out in Europe. He had to rely on the French resistance to smuggle him art supplies during this time. After the war, Picasso's fame grew. He continued to create paintings and experimented with pottery. Even in old age, he continued to work until he died in 1973 and left behind around 50,000 works of art, which were worth hundreds of millions. Wow, that is such a great work Picasso did right there. What a wonderful artist. And another on our list today, that's the last but not the least, is Roy Lichtenstein. Roy was an American pop artist who was prominent during the 1960s, along with Andy Warhol, Jasper Johns, and many other artists. Roy created work that often was in a tongue-in-cheek, humorous manner, He did Worms and Drowning Gay. These two works are regarded as his famous works. Roy was born in New York into an upper-middle-class Jewish family. He attended public school until age 12 and then attended New York Druid School. He became interested in the arts in school and attended jazz concerts and drew portraits. Later, he attended Ohio State University, where he enrolled studio courses and obtained a degree in fine arts. Eventually, he earned his Master's of Fine Arts degree from Ohio State University in 1949. Roy's work appeared to be composed of characters in comic book style set in dramatic situations. These tense situations depicted are intended as ironic commentaries on modern man plight, in which mass media shape everything, including our emotion. Roy based his work on the concept of converting art into commodity. Roy's background of having attended art school and working as both a commercial and graphic artist led to his unique style and subject matter in his painting. Roy became known as a pop artist after his solo show at the Leo Castelli Gallery in New York in 1962. Wow. He began teaching at Rutgers University and became influenced by Alan Capro. He became interested in Capro pop imaginary. He began his first pop painting in his cartoon style in 1961. Wow. You can see we've seen a lot of artists that have done so well. They have done so well and changed the world of art. And this one has really changed the world of art. That will be all for today. Bye.